Hello, students. This is going to be a quick overview of our first assignment, which is a Canvas scavenger hunt, just to kind of help you familiarize yourself with our class Canvas page and also get started a little bit with Google Slides. The first thing you're going to do is go to Courses, then click on your technology class, click on Modules, then click on Canvas Scavenger Hunt. From there, you're going to see step-by-step instructions on how to complete the assignment. It should be pretty straightforward, but I wanted to spend some time showing you a few things. The first thing you're going to actually do is create a folder for this class. So under step 1, it says create folder for class by going to drive.google.com. Again, that is drive.google.com. And following the instructions, you're going to click on the plus sign on the top left that says new, and you're going to select folder. You're going to title your folder Technology 2021-22. Click create. And then to make it easier to find, I would like you to actually change the color. So you can do so by two-finger clicking and getting this drop-down menu. And then you can change your color to whatever you would like. I guess I'll just do purple for now. The next step is you're going to create a slide deck specifically for this Canvas scavenger hunt. So what you want to do is actually go into your technology folder first. Of course, it is empty because you haven't put anything in there yet. But one of the handy things about Google Drive is if you want to start getting things organized and not have a bazillion things that are entitled, if you actually start within the folder you want to save things, it will automatically save the item there. So I just clicked on new and went to Google Slides to create this slide deck for the assignment. I'm going to call it Canvas Scavenger Hunt. And now it will be saved within that folder. Going back to the assignment page, I'm going to move on to the next step. So we're up to step 3 now. We're going to work on the title slide. For those of you who have had tech before, you probably already know how to do this, so you probably don't need to watch this part of the instructions and can move on. But one of the things you're going to do is change the background color of your slide deck. And in order to do that, you have to click on backgrounds. And you can either choose a solid color or you can do gradient, which is kind of fun to play around with. You can do some custom gradient work as well. And you'll notice basically gradient is when it's a combination of 2 or more colors. So in the regular palette, they have basically white with some of the primary colors. So you can customize this though and add more colors. And it offers you the option of doing linear or radial. Radial being kind of a circle starting either on the outside and coming in or vice versa. And you can change where that starts. And then basically in order to change the colors, you start by clicking on these 2 boxes to change the color. Click on the drop-down menu and you can do custom colors as well if you don't want to just do their basic colors. So I'll do some kind of purple, see what this looks like. You can also change the transparency if you don't want it completely solid. And then to change the second color, I click on this square and I'm going to do another custom color. I think this time I'll do kind of a soft yellow. See what that looks like. Maybe do kind of a transparent thing and then click OK. And I can click done to take a look at it. It's pretty bright. I like it. But if you want to add a third color, you can actually do so by going back into custom, close that little menu. If I click add, I can add a third color. So maybe I want something a little bit more bold to kind of make it pop more. So maybe I'll try like a nice blue. See what that does. Oh, wow. That's very pastel-y. But sure, we'll go with that. So I've now changed my background color, and I would like you to avoid using a template for this activity. I want you to kind of play around with the colors a little bit, see what you like, try something new. One thing to note, if you go to custom, you always have the option too of entering a hex code. So one of the things we're going to be learning about in this class is the Adobe Color Wheel, which you can access by just Googling Adobe Color Wheel. And it's a really fun way to make palettes, essentially. They provide you with a variety of palette options. There's tetradic, which is they refer to as square, which is 4 color combinations. There's triad, which is 3, complementary, etc. And so basically this you'll often see in relation to colors this number and letter combination, and that's what's known as a hex code. So if I use the Adobe Color Wheel to kind of create a palette, which you can see up here, like if you want to look at it kind of side by side, basically if I wanted to use these colors, I could just copy in this number directly into this hex field here. So that's just something fun to do if you want to try that out. I'm going to click OK. The next thing I need to do is title it, and I have to use a font other than Arial because that's boring. So I'm actually going to get rid of this text box by clicking on the line. Just a little side note, this can be super annoying when you're trying to delete text boxes. If you click on the box and you get this blinking cursor, it means it thinks you're wanting to edit. So you can't actually delete the box if that cursor is there. In order to delete it, you actually have to click on the line and then click the backspace on your keyboard. So we want to call this Canvas Scavenger Hunt. I'm going to put my name. I'm going to put period 1. And then I'm going to actually kind of center this because we want to work on our design skills a bit. One thing you'll notice is that as I'm trying to center objects on the page, I'll get these red lines vertically and horizontally. Those tell me where the object is in relation on the page. So right now it's perfectly centered. This works also for images. So just a little side note. Now I'm going to select my font by clicking in the box and highlighting it. And I actually want to show you a little bit about more fonts. There's the general list, but in order to access a wide range of fonts, you can actually click on more fonts. And one way to kind of review them is if you go to fonts.google.com. It's kind of great because they show you the layouts. They use the same phrase, and then you can see the difference and choose the one you like. So for this assignment, I'm going to go with something totally new, but something that I can read. And you tend to want to avoid cursives. They can be kind of challenging to read. I think I'm going to do, I don't Garamond many times. That's boring. I'm going to do, I've done this one a lot too. Really cute. I want something new. Ooh, this one's kind of funky. I'm going to do Medieval Sharp. So if I go back up here, click on format, or actually, and click on the font. Up here, click more fonts, and then what was it called? Medieval Sharp. If I just put in that, I should bring it up. There it is. Click on it so that it has this checkbox next to it. Click OK, and then I will add it to my regular list of fonts now. We are going to go back now to the modules to see the instructions and what we need to do next. So we've completed the title slide, and we're going to move on to the slide number 2, which is me. So the first thing I'm going to do is copy this slide by clicking on it on the left, Control C, Control V, and then I'm going to title this one Me, and I want to be a little bit artistic here. I'm going to change some things up a bit. I'm going to actually create a solid background color for this text box by going up to the paint bucket. I'm going to just go ahead and do white, and then maybe do some lines around the perimeter. So you have the option of making thicker lines by selecting the border weight option here. You can also make it dotted if you want. And then I'm going to slant this slightly to the left by clicking on this blue circle that appears on the top, and then I can move this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take a picture, and there's a few ways to do this. You can either just take a picture on your Chromebook camera, or you can do it directly in Slides by going to Insert, Image, and click on the camera. I'm going to smile, look at the camera, make sure your lighting is good so it doesn't look like just this black figure. And I'm going to take a picture. So great. Click insert. Yay. Now, if you want to do some fancy work here, you can also add in border lines. You can also go to format. This is something I like to play around with. You can do a drop shadow, and you can adjust things like the angle and the transparency. The distance will make it move further out. You can blur it a little bit, just so that it kind of stands out a bit. So there's the first part. There's my picture. And then the second piece is you need to insert some images representing some of your interests. So it could be things like sports, music, whatever you want, but at least two, and they can be in the form of clip art or they can be pictures. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to insert images again. And once more, you can either do that in the menu, or you can also just click on this quick button here. I'm going to click on search the web, and oops, I accidentally closed it. That was silly. I'm going to do that again. Let's see, last night I went to a concert. It was Tame Impala. So I'm going to see what I can find. Wonder if I could do their logo. If I can't find something here, because this is from the Creative Commons, you can also go to Google and do a search, because within Google Slides, these are kind of limited. They're restricted to Creative Commons licensed images, meaning they are not copyrighted or trademarked, and they're designated for free use. But because this is for educational purposes, I can actually just use any image. So I'm going to do Tame Impala logo. Go to images. That seems about right. I'm going to save this to my desktop. And then I can just slap it on that slide. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Turn it sideways. And then, whoops. The other thing I'm really into right now is that silly game, Dorf Romantik. So I will go to Google for that, because I already know that it's not going to be in the Creative Commons. Click on images at the top, and I'll just take this down, download it. On your Chromebook, you may have to download it to your download folder. I'm on an Apple, so I don't have to do that. I can just drag and drop. And then I'm going to insert it by just dragging it in. If you had to download it, you can actually go up to insert images, and you can upload it from your computer. And this one I'm just going to turn. So voila. Great. There's me. So that is slide number 2. Looks like I got everything added. The next thing I want you to do is take a picture of that tech folder proving you actually made it, because I'd like to see you guys organized this year. So I'm going to go into drive.google.com, make sure I'm in the correct account, because I have 5 million Gmail accounts. And here is my technology folder. So I'm going to take a screenshot and go back to my scavenger hunt. And I'm going to delete this stuff after copying and pasting my thing. And I'm going to put technology folder as the title. Obviously, I need to adjust it because that didn't work very well. I think I'll put this one kind of over on the side here, maybe change it up a bit. And then I can go to insert, upload from computer. And this was a screenshot, so it should be this one. Boom. There. Now there's evidence that I uploaded it. So there we go. Tech folder is done. Slide number 4 is the syllabus. So this one, if you go into your class, your technologies class, in Canvas, there's a syllabus tab over here on the left. Now this has changed a little bit from last year if you've had technology. So the thing I want you to take a picture of or screenshot of is the grading section. And so preferably like this part here. So I'm just going to take a screenshot. If you don't know how to do a screenshot, just go to Google. There's tons of tutorial videos, and just put in how to take a screenshot Chromebook. I'm going to put syllabus as the title this time. Oops, I'm going to shrink this up a little bit. going to be consistent with my formatting. Delete this. I'm going to upload that screenshot by going to images, upload from computer, and then go to my final screenshot. I'm actually going to say grades, syllabus and grades. Here we are. So this will hopefully get you started on getting through this activity. The rest should be pretty straightforward. I'm going to go back to modules one more time, look at the scavenger hunt. Basically, there's a few more slides that you need to go through. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you get stuck for any reason, do feel free to ask questions. Also, make sure to check the Canvas calendar to make sure you know when this is due. It's going to be due at the end of the next class period, but I always post when our assignments are due there. I hope you have some fun with this. Try to be creative. You can change the background colors, by the way, on your various slides. I was just trying to get through the basics of this activity so that you could get the gist of what to do. But do feel free to kind of play around with your formatting and stuff, kind of determine what your individual style is, because that's part of this process as we get into kind of some more design work. Have fun.